Well, hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? It's nice and comfy and warm over here. It's time to get nice and comfy as well because we're about to do our December 3rd Saturday Skin Showcase. I'm standing right here with my co-host, Mr. MICRØ. Of course, you know who I am. I'm Mr. Hedge. And we have a few groups of skins to look at today, which we will review from both a gameplay and Steam market investment point of view. First, we'll take a look at this week's Rust item store rotation, and we'll follow that up with a look at any workshop submissions from the week which could be viewed as continuations of existing sets. Ooh. We hope that this information will properly prepare us to make informed investment decisions about both upcoming and existing Steam market items. If you have any insights of your own that you'd like to share, feel free to comment during the stream in our Twitch chat right there. Hello Twitch chat, how are you doing? You can contribute to the discussion right there during the stream, or we can welcome you to join our investment community on Discord, linked below in the description in my YouTube videos. MICRØ, was that better?
That was fantastic.
Oh, God.
Welcome, everybody.
So, hello
Welcome to the
people. It is the beginning of December. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Please don't DMCA me. Right, so we got ourselves nice and cozy right here. We're about to show off the first skins of December, and of course new skins that will be potentially appearing soon. Mr. MICRØ, shall we get up and shall we get ready? Why don't we make it a little bit brighter? Now let's just... Oh, it's a miracle! He's he's risen. So MICRØ, let's get us up and ready, and let us go take a look at this ever so nice looking garage door. It is the JPEG garage door. Hello, hello. So, we showed off quite a lot of garage doors last week, didn't we, Mr. MICRØ? We were anticipating potentially seeing Quarantine, Demonic Raven, and of course JPEG, and it looks like JPEG is the victor. So I was potentially anticipating quite an interesting wipe day rotation for December. Of course, the very first week we'd expect a whole bunch of people wanting to play, especially of all of these updates that we had. And why don't we just get a good look at this at night time? Ooh, and yeah, looking nice there. So, MICRØ, do you want to turn the lights on during the night time? Just get a good look at that. Oh, it doesn't really show.
The lights, yeah, and the lights are on. Let me put on these.
Oh, the candles. That's it. Yep.
The Unican lamps.
Right. So, of course, we already showed this off last week, and it, of course, doesn't glow. And, oh, there we go. That's extra helpful. The light man, the miner, Mr. MICRØ, thank you very much. So, there isn't really much to talk about in regards to its texture. It's literally more of a gimmick rather than, well, I mean, it is a texture, but we get the idea. It's not like a design or a theme. Rather, it's just trying to make the actual default skin look. What's the Borderlands term again, Mr. MICRØ? It's
Well, that would be cell shading. I think you're looking
That's
for.
it. Perfect. I always remember the Borderlands style, but I always forget the actual name of it. So GBG has had a new skin accepted to his collection, being quite successful recently with his deployables. Not too long ago, we saw the sheet metal door being accepted, doing quite alright, mind you, and now we have a garage door. So garage doors, we've had quite a lot of them this year, and this could be quite awkward, because with so many that have come out this year, and especially with this one not exactly being glow in the dark, I don't know. I'm a bit unsure because, well, MICRØ, if you could turn the lights off, please. Let's just really emphasise that point. He's like the stagehand.
I think it is a cute idea.
It's a fun gimmick, but yeah, you're not going to see that at night. Of course, we can see the lock, but yeah, I can't see my way around and whatnot. And of course, you know, we not. Oh, now I can. Thank you very much. It's not necessarily a case of glow in the dark is where all the money's at. We've had plenty of glow in the dark garage doors. The main problem is it's kind of hard to reference how well will a non-glow in the dark door do, garage door to be precise. So, yeah. Now here's the funny thing. Go look at the sheet metal door right now. It's in the positive. not many of them are being listed. It's in a weird position where the buy orders aren't really matching up to the rust door price, but no one's selling the sheet metal door below its rust door price either. It's like a standoff. No one's making a move. No one's trying to list it lower. No one's trying to buy order it higher. It's awkward. And if you look at the most recent sales as well, they are all selling for around $1. So this right here, I am still a bit unsure on. But I like the gimmick. I think it's cool. I'm happy to see you do quite alright with it, Mr. GBG. Let's see if you return to doing clothing and armour soon, or will you probably make the likes of a large box, small box? What else could he do, Mr. MICRØ? What deployables would you like to see turned into cell shading?
There's always the water catcher, or the water purifier.
Water purifier, that's it. That's what we need. So, yeah, maybe we'll see something very interesting. But next week, of course, is the last Rustle rotation before we all start seeing the Christmas skins. We will have 2 weeks of Christmas skins. Then we'll have a New Year week, but that's just regular skins. We might see something themed to do with New Year's, but you'd at least expect the fireworks to return. So let's see what potentially might be appearing next week. Hopefully clothing and armour, which we don't even have to show for this Rustle rotation again. Mr. MICRØ, shall we move on to showing off the Blackout Python? Mr. MICRØ, if you could get yourself nice in position, I will stand here with my good friend Mr. Frosty, and yes, let us aim down the sights, because this Python has something special about it. I've pointed this out during, well, I noticed it during the Tuesday skin checks. Not surprised to see this accepted when it was accepted during my Rustle rotation video. I actually anticipated it happening. We have a Python where it has the aim, you know, the little, it's the aim sight attached. What would you call it, Mr. MICRØ? I'm not super savvy with the actual naming convention of it.
So on any firearm, if it has built-in sights, they're usually called iron sights, and in that case, that would be like the rear sight post.
Rear sight post. Okay, thank you. So, Mr. MDE if you recall, he did something very similar with his MP5. He's made it transparent. He hasn't removed it, but he's made it transparent so you can't see it. And a lot of people might say, "Oh, I can see so much more now," when in reality you kind of can't. It's not that different. So, Mr. MICRØ, if I could just quickly turn it to night time, I don't see... Well, the red reflects light very nicely, but if I stand in the pure darkness, yeah, nothing there. It doesn't glow. You shouldn't expect any glow. We're not going to get glowing aim sights again. Well, we've been told at least, so that's what's to be expected. Get a good look at that in the daytime. Oh, God. So yeah, MDE, very successful with his Blackout collection. It, of course, is very in demand and very beloved. How about we get a good pose of you, Mr. MICRØ, in the dawn. Oh, look at that. Cotton candy skies in this winter wonderland. And now, let's slowly rise up and get a good look at that. Mr. MICRØ looking extra nice with the Santa beard. Or is that natural, huh?
That's all natural. And, you know, I put this flashlight on here, but let me just take that off so you can get a clean view of the skin. So you might also call that rear element, the sight component, a blade. You might also
let me just
terminology.
Adjust the... Yeah, let's get a good look at the sunlight. Yes. Good job, Mr. MDE. So... I'm kind of curious what to potentially expect what he removes next, because he has had a lot of weapon skins already accepted. So it's going to be a matter of what hasn't he done yet that he could probably manipulate with the iron sights all over again. I'm curious to see, but it's going to be a bit of a mystery for now. Is he going to incorporate that with his other collections, like Cold Hunter? I wonder. Now let us go into... nighttime. Chat, do you like what you see?
Get right up in there and get close up on the skin. There's actually a decent amount of texture there, you know, even though the whole thing is black, but it is it's more than just a flat black, you know. It has some striation to it and some almost like I don't know if you'd call it speckled or like camouflage, but it's you know, a variated surface. It's not just flat black, you know, like plain. Let me turn a little bit. Maybe you can catch a bit of different.
Yeah, that's better. Oh, you were all right there. If you could turn to your left a little bit more, you get the sunlight perfectly. Yeah. So he's got a nice design to it. He does a very
Zoom
good
in
job of
real
this.
close. Get right up in there. There you go.
Yeah.
Almost like a carbon fiber look on the rotating chamber area. I forget what that's called, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of texture there.
He's done a good job of that, and of course, we love it lots. Selling nicely already. Let's see how well it does by the end of the week. Good job there, Mr. MDE. Mr. MICRØ, shall we proceed on to talking about the LR300? Made by Mr. Slanoster. He actually turned this into... It's technically a collection, but not an official one just yet, because this was the first redemption skin to finally be accepted. He's been trying, hasn't he, MICRØ? He
Yeah, he's
had...
got 2 or 3 of them at this point.
Did it start off with the AK or did it start off with the L96? Because it was quite some time back.
Yeah, he's been working on this for a while now.
Because this was actually a late pick. So, yeah, we should bring that up. We saw quite a reasonably diverse batch of skins that appeared this week. Quite a decent amount of typicals. Some, they're still mostly early, but we've had some lates, extra lates, a decent batch of typicals. So, Mr. Slanoster has been trying for quite some time to get this skin collection accepted. Finally, with the changes that happened to the LR300 this week, maybe that was the reason why we saw an LR300 skin being accepted. But they dug deep and they picked out this one, and I think he's done a very good job with this. It's got a very nice style. So, of course, no glowing. As you can see, no glowing. Let's send it back to daytime. Nice and shiny. Looking very cool. So, yeah. Right now, this is a $2.99 skin, but I am still a bit cautious because LR300 skins, they haven't been doing very well this year, and that's something you do have to take into consideration because we're probably not going to see that much changing in terms of prices, especially with the skins after they're out of the rust rotation, of course. But, are we going to see an increased demand? Are we going to see people wanting to use these a whole lot more compared to obviously before we had the module, the what's it called, the burst module?
The burst module, yep.
So I almost said it wrong there. So will that increase the demand to use it? Will people embrace these cool looking skins that we've had for the LR300 all of this time? Will it be used a whole lot more? And I think we're probably not going to notice until maybe around towards the end of this month, because we're expecting a whole lot more people to be playing Rust during the Christmas period. So, oh, look at that shine. That's really good.
Yesterday I was surprised. I took a look. There was 125,000 people on.
There's 130,000 earlier today. I think it's still increasing. Wow. So a lot more people have been jumping in. They've been very curious about these quality of life updates. I'm sure, or I hope everybody's happy. Probably not. Everyone's got a reason to moan about something, but hey, we can't complain about this. Very nice piece of work there, Mr. Slanoster. Good job there. So, Mr. MICRØ, how about we look over to the side?
By the way, you were correct that he started with the AK-47 and then moved on to the L96. And unfortunately, both of those were passed up. I mean, there may have just been a lot happening during that period of time. And unfortunately, not every great skin can be chosen.
Yeah.
So, since this did come around after the fact, and this is like the third item in the series, the other two were also quite well produced. So it stands to reason that he could find a late pick somewhere along the line, an opportunity to slide this in and continue this collection, or maybe we have to wait till next year's complete the sets or something to see a continuation. But that gives me a bit of hope that we see this come about, and be accepted after the third iteration and after quite some time. So
I fully expect there to at least be another skin being accepted for this collection. So I wouldn't be surprised if Slanoster's definitely going to push ahead and try and get that another skin added and whatnot. I'm just wondering what might he do. He might do a version 2. Let's not rule that out. He's perfectly fine to do that.
Whoa, yeah. Rotation. Wow.
Yeah.
Busy. Did you notice the skeletonized handle and region underneath the front handguard or the heat shield area? There's some transparency to it. So it's a clever use of transparency that doesn't like totally break the skin. Like in some cases, we see that transparency like really alter the way the item appears in game. But here, I think it still maintains its overall shape and look and feel. It's just an interesting way of incorporating some transparency that gives it a little something new that we don't see in the typical skin. So, congratulations, Slanosta. Good job on that, and let's hope we could see something else come about and continue this collection.
Let's just get another look at that up close. Because, yeah, good piece of work there, buddy. So, the problem is, though, it is based on the fact that will people be wanting to use the LR300 a whole lot more? Because, obviously, demand drives up value. So, the more the gun gets used, the more demand to use the skins, of course, which leads to the more pricier the skins can be. And, well, the LR300 wasn't getting used that much, unfortunately. But hopefully now... yeah, so burst fire, cool. I also realised I didn't shoot the Python, so yeah, sorry about that. There you go. Looks cool. Right then, Mr. MICRØ, shall we move on to talking about the Dead Souls AK-47? So, as you can see, it's got a nice helpful green aim sight tip there. Yep, very helpful. Should help out in most environments. Maybe not the green areas. Avoid the grass. Shooty shooty. Bang bang. Looking very cool. Looking very nice. So, Dead Souls collection. It's only had deployables accepted until, of course, this. Are we potentially going to be seeing more? But there's also the point I have to bring up that it's a bit of awkward timing for this gun, unfortunately, because this is actually the third AK-47 skin to be accepted 3 weeks in a row. And, come on, nighttime, here we go. Yep, so of course nothing there. Shift, yep, so... yeah, this is the third AK skin to come out in the past 3 weeks, and that is looking to be affecting the amount of sales it's getting, and it's obviously affecting the demand for newer AKs. As we know, AK-47 skins, we are oversaturated with options in terms of, well, we have far too many of them, and people don't seem to be loyal to their AK skins. This AK, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of faith in, purely based on the fact that, of course, with the context of we've literally just had a bunch of AKs being accepted, so that's a problem. And then this collection isn't necessarily, like, making everybody froth at the mouth. I'm sorry to say, but when you accept that type of perspective, you are aware of the potential problems that can happen afterwards. But we can respect it. We've liked the previous deployables. So, this, of course, is made by a Mr. KVE. Sorry about that. KVE, and Mr. MICRØ struck a pose. Get a good look at this. All the skulls on the side. Oh, zoomed in a bit too much. Sorry about that. So, yes. Let's just do a nice slow pan. You got the face mask skull, the coffee can skull. Oh, the wood helmet skull. Oh, you got the deer skull mask. Deer skull. The bucket helmet. So yeah, looking very cool. But yeah, it's just quite literally I don't want to. It's literally just a texture from all the deployables, isn't it? It's a full. It's a.
No, that's not. I've heard. It's not the only time I've heard anyone say that. Unfortunately, I should introduce a bit of correction there. While it is the image pasted in a sense, the same artwork used in the other deployables, this skin does have custom normals. And,
does it?
You know, he's done a lot of work to incorporate some subtle normal detail there that, you know, it's not part of the default weapon. So there's some texturing across the top of the receiver there, like a dimpled effect. On the back of the receiver, just above where the stock attaches, there's some line work, and there's a couple of like rivets placed throughout the texture, and even the hand guard where my front hand is resting has a non-default texture to it. So it is fair to say that he did the same level of work that any other artist would do in generating or producing the normal map. And it's not. I just want to be clear that it's not just the image slapped on the gun and send it. He did as much work as anyone does to produce this. So
I'm happy
there's a
you
lot of
mentioned
detail
that.
there.
You really did bring out like all the finer details that a lot of people miss, and thank you very much for pointing that out, Mr. MICRØ. So, Mr. KVE, Oh,
For comparison, here's the default AK, and if you want to get a good close-up look at that and see where the textures may differ, you can see that this is, there's more to it than just slapping on a JPEG and submitting it to the workshop. He did model this and give it some additional detail.
yeah. Thank you very much for pointing that out. That's a very good point. I'm very, very thankful for you for pointing that out. I think we explained that in a very reasonable way in terms of helping people acknowledge what these skin creators get up to in terms of making changes. I am trying to make the time change. My notch. Oh, here we go. There we go. Night time. Mr. MICRØ, strike a good pose. Looking very good there. How about we go from here and we slowly zoom into that. Yep. Cool stuff. But this is another AK skin, and I am remaining cautious about that. So, yeah. Hey,
Understandably so. There's reasoning behind that logic. It's not just an opinion. I mean, there's data-driven analysis going on there to say,
would you like to
when
put
you
it on your
have
back?
as many AKs as we see, it has a result on the market performance.
Would you like to put it on your back, good sir?
Sure.
Yes, and let's get a good zoom in on the side and tilt to whirl. Cool. Yep. They get a little zoom on that. They look like a happy bunch. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, because it's kind of inverted with the controls there, let's go whoop. Hey. So, Mr. MICRØ, thank you for your help there. How about we start talking about the El Diablo double barrel shotgun? Whoop. Bam. So, El Diablo collection returns with... Well, actually, it actually becomes a collection now. We have a continuation of the collection. It is, of course, the double barrel shotgun. Do you remember? A good 2 weeks ago, we had the Python revolver being... well, it's called the Python. Sorry about that. I should only say Python. With the Python accepted, sold very nicely. And, as we can just quickly see, it maintains that cool-looking burned ember style. Would you call it burned ember, or is it like cracking? It's... What do you reckon, MICRØ? What would you...
I actually can't tell you what that's meant to be. I think both of those things that you mentioned sound about right. Like if there's embers on it, like you imagine this thing was like in a forge or in a hot flame, and you pulled it out, it would be covered in like some scale, and so what you might be seeing is like scale that's starting to crack off a piece of hot metal.
Yeah.
I guess that's how I would interpret it. I'm not a blacksmith or much of a metal worker, but
You're not.
I used to be a machinist actually in my early days, but then I moved on to working together with you.
Oh. Right, bang bang. Hey. So, I was a bit confused. Well, I'm sure they had to have they should have picked a shotgun skin at the very least this week, especially with what we were talking about last week, Mr. MICRØ.
Mm-hmm.
One of the quality of life updates this week was, of course, the slugs. I don't want to call it a nerf. I call it a trade-off. It got stronger in closer distances, more damage. It does more damage in closer distances, but of course, 40 meters plus range, it does drop off with the damage it can do. It went from 75% damage to 50%, but there was an increase in range for 100% damage. It used to be 0 to 10 meters, but now it's 0 to 20. So more damage within 20 meters, but it does less damage from 40 meters plus. Now that's the slugs, not the actual guns themselves. That being the water pipe. What are you looking at? Water pipe, double barrel.
See the bottom.
Oh,
Nothing
the
really
bottom.
to see, but
yeah, sorry. If you could do that again, I didn't actually see the bottom. Yep, it's literally the pattern all over. So you can bring it back down again, Mr. MICRØ. Don't shoot the sun. I like the sun. It will get colder if you do that.
well, maybe it'll make him mad and he'll turn up the heat.
Ah! Right, so I was actually anticipating more like that we were more likely going to potentially see the likes of a pump shotgun, but no, we're sticking with double barrels. We've had 10 so far this year, and Do you reckon we'll see another one before the end of this year? Oh dear. So, double barrel shotgun is the shotgun that's been getting all of the love. It is Face Punch's favourite, it seems. And yes, get a good look at that. It doesn't glow, of course, but the ember parts do kind of reflect light. I need to drink a bit of water. The ember parts do reflect light a whole lot nicely. So, so let's just get a good view on that. And there's no point twirling around because it's on the top of the shotgun there. Chat, do you like what you see? Do you like the double barrel? Oh, the Northern Lights, MICRØ. Where? Do you like what you see? sorry. That was a surprise. I didn't realise they had a pair. You can shoot them, MICRØ. It's all right. So, come back, sunlight. Where are you? So yeah, it's nice. It's cool. And Eros, I'm sure you're very happy to see that being turned into another collection. You're quite lucky. You have Cybercode and El Diablo. So. Yeah, let's see what happens next. We're probably seeing Cybercode next week. I wouldn't be surprised. So, that's the 10th double barrel shotgun this year. Could that lead to potential financial problems? Because, well, go take a look at all the most recent ones that come out. We've had far too many compared to the previous years. I believe in 2021 and in 2020 we only got like 3 skins per year for the double barrel shotguns. This year, 10. And obviously, I've mentioned this many times, especially with the likes of single armor doors. When we have far too many come out in such a short amount of time, or we could say maybe even for a year, the option, the new skins just don't really have room to grow, room to breathe. There's always another option, so people quickly ditch the old one and get the new one, and then there's another one, ditch the old one, get the new one, and that badly affects all of them. And if you go look at all the double barrel shotguns. Except the military one at the moment, because that's probably still being pumped. Yeah, they're all probably in the negative. Cold Hunter I expect to improve nicely as we get closer and closer to Christmas time. Cold Hunter collection obviously being part of an important collection that people like, and it's got more demand. But yeah, because this is just a brand new collection, I don't think the fact that it's part of a collection can carry it and potentially make it go up in price and be more in demand. It's nothing like Blackout, for example, as well. That's a good one. So yeah, Mr. MICRØ, shall we move on to talking about the Calmtime SMG? So, this is the first skin to be accepted for Mr. Frog, I believe. Yep, yes it is, isn't it? They've been trying for quite some time, and here we are. And, well, this is a bit confusing to look at. What exactly is Calmtime? I don't know. It doesn't have a helpful colour on the aim sight. It's just the default one, it seems. Shooty, bang, bang. But we do have this dilemma at the moment. Custom SMGs. Are you rushing to use the custom SMG at the moment? Yeah, we had this discussion not too long ago when we had the Blackout custom SMG, didn't we? First of all, let's just make sure, nighttime. Nothing glows, it's all there, nothing glows. So, back to daytime. Mr. MICRØ, strike a pose. Look nice and pretty, and let's get up real close with this. So yeah, we had this questioning... We were questioning the custom SMGs not too long ago. We had the Blackout SMG, and, well, in terms of pecking order, meta, totem pole, I guess you'd say, how often, or how likely, or how high up, or how in demand is it to use a custom SMG in the game at the moment?
I think...
that wasn't a question for you. I was kind of being...
answer that, though.
If you want to
answer that.
Go on then, yeah.
I think there's something to be said, people engage in PvP at various ranges, and number one, we've said this before, a lot of times you use what you have, and custom SMG is just a bit more accessible on the tech tree. Not just that, but the pieces that you use to craft it are also more easily attainable as well. So it is a tier 2 type of weapon, and it it has its place in the hierarchy. May not be at the top, but as I started out by saying, when and where you engage other players in a gunfight depends a lot of times on the gun that you have. So, if you're fighting at long range, custom SMG is a pretty bad option. But if you're up close to somebody, maybe you're defending a raid or you're, camping in a monument and that's what you have. This thing does a lot of DPS if you land your shots. Unfortunately, beyond like a decent range, 20, 30 meters, you don't always land a high percentage of your shots, but if you're very close and you can really get land a high percentage of those shots, it's an effective weapon. So don't discount it on the grounds of it not being effective at long range. But I will say, all that being said, you're right. It's not the most popular gun, but it does have a place. I think it's not fair to just totally chuck it out on account of its lack of status in the hierarchy.
Yes, so at some point you're probably going to be using one, and you want to be nice and stylish, don't you? It's just the actual skin's just a bit confusing to look at. I don't fully know what they're going for. I like the graffiti. Is it graffiti? Yeah, I'd probably say it's graffiti style. It's fun. Was it called Calmtime in the workshop? It was. Okay.
It was.
Okay.
It was called Calmtime Custom SMG. I agree that it has a bit of an abstract look and feel to it. Maybe Dreamtime would be better because it just sort of has this sort of surreal kind of art on there that it kind of has a cool color scheme, and yeah, the graffiti is sort of gives it like an urban feel. I think it all boils down to if you like it or not.
Yeah, I mean, we could easily expect some more to potentially appear soon. Of course, we would expect that when a skin creator is successful. Of course, they're going to try and make more of that collection, especially for whoa, Mr. MICRØ. Whoa, it's all good. We would expect potentially seeing more of that sometime soon. So I wouldn't be surprised if Frog probably turns around and makes maybe even an AK or an LR300 or a MP5. Maybe a Thompson. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if they try and make some more. So, cool designs. Bit confusing for me, but for a lot of people out there with different tastes and personal opinions, they probably look at that and they think, what an exquisite piece of art. I simply must have it and add it to my collection. So, cool stuff. Congratulations to you, Mr. Frog, for your first skin to be accepted. Mr. MICRØ. Oh, go on.
Frog and Keo, great job, guys. Keep it up. I'm looking forward to seeing more of your work in the Rust Workshop.
Let's now proceed to talking about the Bownana. But before I properly talk about this, MICRØ, I keep hearing the water. I keep hearing the water. Have you heard that water this whole time?
I don't hear it. That's funny, but I guess it's because we're on this pond thing, this frozen lake.
Yes. I
think it sounds nice.
Chat, has that upset you? Have you heard the water this whole time? I'll turn it off if you don't like it.
I guess I hear it on mine too. I just have it turned down a little bit.
Yeah. No, you don't care? No? Okay, then fine. Just
I like it.
Okay, I'll put it back on then. Just hope no one feels the need to go to the toilet. Anyway, what's he got in his hands? A nice source of potassium. It's the Bownana. Right, so look at this goofy thing. We have a banana. No, a Bownana, to be precise. Yep. Hey. Hey. So let me just quickly clarify. This is not part of a collection with the Banana Ioka. They are made by separate people. The Banana Ioka came out 5 years ago. This came out in 2022, right? So this is made by Mr. Debsky. And if we get a good look at that, yep, looking nice and cool. Got the little, what's the Banana Company stickers, stamps that, I can't remember. Pardon? Chiquita, that's it. So yeah, you got your your own Rust themed sticker on the banana, so that's cool. I like that little touch. I thought that was real nice. But yeah, we're going full on with the silly puns, gimmicks. Now, the problem with bow skins is how often are you actually using a bow for? It's super easy to make a bow, yeah, and that's why they do get used quite a reasonable amount. And a lot of people do love to run around with just a bow. But how often is the common person running around with a bow? If you're not, all right. you're not going to be winning a gunfight with a bow, are you? Most of the times, you're not going to be winning against someone with a gun. So, yeah, you're not going to be wanting to run around with a bow all the time. But I have seen this. There's a few standout bow skins that do sell a lot better at the moment. And you're talking with the likes of Blackout, of course. Then you've got like Retro Wave, Jade. There's some very cool looking, very nice looking bow skins. Then, of course, you also have Comics, which is pure white, which I assume a lot of people would like to use with their white out in the snowy environments as they're full white and everything. So I'm looking at this and I'm cautious. I'm skeptical. I'm thinking it's an awesome looking design. It looks really funny. I laughed at it when I saw on the workshop skin checks and I thought, you know what? That's got to be accepted. Just for a laugh. Just for a joke. Lo and behold, it was accepted. Ow! Don't hit me!
All the snowman. You look like a snowman.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is sometimes gimmicks do work out quite well. And right here with what we look at, a skin that's come out just before post-Christmas time. Well, Christmas time, post-Christmas, you get the idea. We're going to see a whole bunch of people playing Rust soon. And do you think people who are going to run around with a bow, they're going to quickly look on the Rust Steam market trying to find a new bow skin? They see this, and do you think they're going to turn that down? Do you think... Oh, it's got a little bit of bruising. Oh no, it's got a little bit of bruising, MICRØ. I can't eat it now. Do you think they're going to look at this and think, I don't want that? I think a lot of people will think it's very funny, and I think a lot of people potentially will be wanting to use it. But I am cautious because, yeah, there's been some interesting looking designs for bow skins that have come out recently. Not all of them, but, you know, this is a gimmick. But are we going to see a similar pattern with the likes of the Cucumber Eoka that came out earlier this year, for example? Do you remember that? It kicked off immediately, went up in price immediately, went up to $20 at one point. Immediately went down and down and down and down and down. Yeah, because a lot of people thought the Cucumber Eoka was going to perform exactly like the Banana Eoka. Will a lot of people associate this banana bow with the Banana Eoka? I hope not, but, you know, it takes just one person to go onto TikTok and say, hey, let's just buy this all out, let's just buy this all out, and then everybody starts buying into it, and then suddenly a lot of people lose their money when it starts to go down in price. So, I don't know. I'm being cautious. I might just stick with a buy order. I might buy a bunch of them on Thursday. MICRØ, can you put it on your back? So I might just buy a bunch of them on Thursday. If it looks a bit 50-50, I might remove the... I might just, you know, I could just do a receipt. I could just refund it. But you have to do that within 48 hours. But if you want to play it extra safe, that would be the option. But I feel like in the long term, this silly Bownana could do nicely, could do very nicely. It's going to take some time. But yeah, I'm already on TikTok promoting it. Damn it! But yeah, that actually happened earlier this year. The Cucumber Eoka came out. Someone went on TikTok, made a TikTok saying, "Hey guys, let's buy this. It's gonna stonk exactly like the banana," and it did because everybody kept buying it from the Steam market afterwards. But after a while, it just kept going down and 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 down. Now, whether that was manipulation or well, yeah, technically speaking, that would be manipulation. Would you consider that manipulation, Mr. MICRØ? When someone announces it to everyone and coerces everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know if I'd call it manipulation unless it was deliberate. But I mean, in a sense, I think it was purposeful. I mean, or at least intentional that he went to the trouble to make the video and declare that it was going to stunk. I think that would be more of an influence campaign rather than manipulation. But we're taking apart the minutia of the phrasing here. I think it has definitely been influenced by that TikTok
coercion
video, for sure.
To take part with the ideal of potentially making easy money. But what happens is everybody who sells first are the ones who walk off with the easy money. So, well, that was just a silly story to bring up. I am a bit cautious, but it's nice to bring up context wherever you can. So, Bownana, Debski, congratulations. Let's see how much it sells. I'm probably expecting maybe around 15,000. I think that's probably a realistic amount. So, yeah, good stuff. Now, Mr. MICRØ, would you like to play a little game? I think you've been good so far. I think we
Does it
could play a
involve
little...
shooting snowmen?
No, it doesn't involve shooting snowmen, but it does involve a little bit of explosions. So, Mr. MICRØ, I'm going to teach you a game. It's called Snowman Curling. All right?
Oh.
So, you've got a whole batch of snowmen prepared over there, and what we do, and this is for everybody.
Satchel Charge ready.
So this is what you do. You get a whole bunch of snowmen, you find a frozen lake, and Mr. MICRØ, hey! And you see how many you can destroy. Yes! Frosty! Ah! Well, it didn't work. Go on, you chuck yours. Where's that? Can't get this arrow out of me. Frosty the snowman got his head blown off a lot. Oh, no, it didn't work. Right, my turn. So, yeah, I wanted to call this bowling, but I think with the, you know, if it keeps sliding on the ice, then it probably would be curling. Yeah. Come on. Oh, he gets to live. That's not fun. Did it blow up? Yeah, so it's
that was going off for sure.
This, come on. This didn't really do a very good job.
Double kill.
So yeah, what do I have in my hands? Why, it's the continuation of the From Hell collection. It's the Satchel from Hell. Hasta la vista, Frosty. So, I threw that one a bit too far. Maybe that will blow him up or it won't. I don't know. Come on. Come on. Come on, Frosty. Ah, you get to live today, you lucky, snowy so-and-so. Maybe this one. So, yeah. Just having festive fun like you normally would with explosives and ice. It's definitely not dangerous. Hey!
Nice. Ooh, that feels good.
Frosty the snowman is rolling on the floor dead. That's because we threw a satchel and his head blew off. And we blew off his head. Damn it, I could have made that rhyme. Damn it. Well, Mr. MICRØ, would you like to stand over there? Because I have in my hands a glow-in-the-dark From Hell satchel. And I do bring up the dilemma, so get a good look at this. Yes, looking very nice. Looking very bright. But we have a bit of a dilemma, Mr. MICRØ. You're making a satchel charge. You're making a whole batch of them. It takes some time to get them all of them made and whatnot. If you could turn to your side so we can get a good look at that. How about we make it night time? And are you going to rush to turn them all into skinned satchels? If you get my point, like slowly walk to your right into the darkness, so it's slowly closed in the dark. Yes, very cool, very nice. So Sir Q has continued his collection, but yeah, the point I'm trying to quickly make is, are you actually going to want to skin your satchels? From what we can see in terms of sales, in terms of the prices of all the other satchel skins that have come up recently, apparently not. So yeah, the problem with this, and as I slowly rise up and get a good look at Mr. MICRØ as he holds the explosive next to his face, the night Santa went crazy. What?
It smells so good. So I just wanted to get a whiff of these bean cans.
The nuts and Nick went insane. Whoa. So, Weird Al. Basically, yeah, it's a nice glow-in-the-dark satchel. Maybe it could help you at night time to be able to aim properly. Hey, MICRØ, if you threw it onto the ice, would you be able to see it? Turn to your right and throw it towards the snowmen. I didn't even see it. Oh, there. No, wait. Not there.
Right here. It's right here.
No. I want. Okay, what I was actually asking is if you could. Oh well, there you go. You can get a good look at that. And yeah, close the door. Oh, he picked it up. Damn it, MICRØ. I said. Right, I was going to say you could throw it towards the snowman again. You had the opportunity to.
There's a couple over here that have been that were duds. Maybe you could check these out.
Okay, so.
Oh, it's perfect. Actually, check. Look, they're oriented. One's face up and one's face down. It couldn't be more perfect over here.
Are you mocking my aim? So
no,
yeah,
you did a fantastic job.
So yeah, great for blowing up snowmen during this lovely festive period. Congratulations to you, Sir Q. But $2.49 satchel skins. We've seen some fairly pricey satchel skins fairly recently. And I saw some of your YouTube vids, and the content's amazing. Thank you very much, Mask D Yamaga. I can't pronounce it properly. Right now we're doing a Saturday Skin Showcase. Hello, Calmtime Legend as well. So, yep, hello everybody. Just currently reviewing these satchels. Oh, why, MICRØ? Why? So anyway, the point I was trying to make is, it's a bit iffy because I'm unsure if people are actually going to commit to these. From Hell collection is fairly beloved, but we have seen a lot of these skins go down in price, and they have gone below their Rust Door price. Go look at the sheet metal door. Go look at the what else is there? The bow from Hell that appeared earlier this year as well. That went down in price. That didn't do very well. So that's awkward, isn't it? Not bow from Hell. Crossbow from Hell. That's it. That's it. So just because some of the skins from the collection are used a lot and are in demand and are above their Rust Door price doesn't mean the rest of them will. You know, even Blackout has a few duds here and there. So I have to be a bit cautious. And with the context of, do you even want to skin your Satchel Charges? It does bring up the potential dilemma of, yeah, I'm just not sure. But yeah, well, I like the reflection on that. You did a good job here, Mr. Cirque. Looking very nice. So, I've advertised a new type of game for you to play in Rust. Just find a nice icy lake, set up some snowmen, and blow them up.
Bowling with satchels.
I thought it was curling!
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess if you're at opposite ends of the lane, then you could do some curling. I think if you're all at the same end of the lane, it's more like bowling.
Yes, so you two can have fun. And with that, that is the end of this week's Rust Door rotation of skins. But we're not done, are we, Mr. MICRØ? No, we still have more to talk about. We have the workshop continuations. Are they going to blow up? Nope, dud. Dud, MICRØ, you made a dud. Oh, well, not that one. Right, so, I'm moving about. Hey, whoa. And I'm back to reality. So, let's throw this back away, and let's start... Oh, there we go. Let's bring all of this back. Mr. MICRØ, we have some doors to discuss. Would you like to get yourself nice and ready as we turn around and take a good look at an interesting looking double door? So, I was fairly hyped up this week. I thought, when I saw this during the Tuesday workshop skin checks, surely, we'll see the No Mercy Armor double door being accepted. We just saw the No Mercy Armor door being accepted last week. We just saw a quality of life update come out. Oh no, MICRØ! I can't see. I'm joking.
I was hoping they'd open the other way, and I realized as soon as I did it,
it's all good. I'll just sneak past Mr. Snowman and get back round over here. So, what we have here is the double door, and I felt surely we will see the No Mercy double door being accepted on the week that the armoured doors and the double armoured doors get a buff. They go from 800 health to 1000 health. Nope, garage door instead. So, yeah, we were talking about how the double armoured doors compete with the likes of the garage doors in terms of how much they're likely to get used. How likely are you going to want to use them? So, yep, that's a good thing to show, Mr. MICRØ. Does this glow in the dark? No, does not glow in the dark. This does not glow in the dark, but reflects light very nicely. I like the logo it has, and as we've mentioned, over the years, No Mercy has been liked very nicely. It's even got its own mouse pads and whatnot. So, I honestly was really hoping to see this being accepted. It just didn't happen. Double armoured doors, we don't get many of them, and they are great investments. Because there's hardly any of them that exist, pretty much all of them would go up in price instantly. They will sell a lot, and they would go up in price, and I'm very confused why Face Punch didn't accept it. I can complain and moan as much as I want to, but right there, I mean, maybe not now, maybe next week, maybe after Christmas, maybe in January. We have seen some extra late picks happening here and there. So, yeah. Calmtime, I never mentioned that, MICRØ. That was an extra late pick, wasn't it? Sorry to not mention that, but yeah, we do seem to see the trend of extra late picks still happening randomly every week or every other week. That is still a thing that's still happening, and we welcome it.
That was like an extra week later than normal. Actually, 2 weeks later than normal. So we would anything later than the typical 1 week would we call late, but this was more than that 1 week, so we call that extra late.
Yeah. So, yeah. Mr. Meta says, want a Hellgate double armor door. We saw that appear earlier this year. That could still potentially appear as an extra late pick. We have seen a double door. We used it for our glowing door dilemma video, didn't we? That was 4 months ago? Yeah. We've been doing this for a while, haven't we, Mr. MICRØ? But yeah. So that is the No Mercy double door. It is very cool. It's literally the armored door, but 2. Yeah, that's basically it, really. That's all you really need to know. So, cool stuff. Made by Bad Trip. Maybe next week or maybe after Christmas. I cross my fingers and hope it could happen. But it does have someone competing with it. Well, we do have the Cold Hunt double armor door that appeared just a couple of weeks ago, but there was also another one, and now it has a version 2, and that is the Oh god, that looked weird. Constellations double armor door version 2. So, does this glow in the dark? Yes, it does. Made by Mr. Cavency. You might know him as the person who created the Outer Planets collection, and with what we have here, it seems to be a case of he's tweaked this a little bit. Now, I don't know what he actually changed. That's something I don't know, and he did remove the old one, Mr. MICRØ. So, we do have a video showcasing the old one. You might have to go back and look at that, because that came out like a month and a half ago. I don't fully know what he changed. I don't think the wiring changed that much. As you can see here, he's got wiring to showcase how this all lights up. I don't think the actual lighting positions changed too much. I might be wrong. That might be the actual thing that got changed. The fencing position, I'm not sure if the actual slant bits. What should we call this? The hatch. I'm not sure if the hatches have been changed, but you're allowed to make a version 2 a month after a submission. So he could have only changed something ever so slightly and then resubmitted it just to see if he could get this accepted. And it was tactical timing. As I said, this was the week that the double armor doors, any armor doors got a buff. But, neither this or the No Mercy door were accepted. So quite unfortunate. Don't blame him for giving it a shot. But again, maybe not this week. Maybe next week. Maybe after Christmas. Maybe in January. We don't know, but it could happen. So what we can also point out to you is we do have this time frame. We know about the hypothesis, MICRØ's hypothesis, where we have a 3-week time frame from the date of submission, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. It could either appear as an early skin, a typical skin, or a late pick. If the skin hasn't been accepted within 3 Rustore rotations from when it was first submitted, we would likely sit there and say, right, that's probably not going to get accepted then. Now, occasionally, we do have the extra late picks where we see a skin from 2 months ago, a year ago, even 2 years ago randomly getting picked. That's something you probably don't want to rely upon. Mr. Cavency probably saw the opportunity where they were having the buff being introduced. It was well known. I've been talking about it throughout all of last week. He probably thought, you know what, I could just tweak the one I already made and put out a version 2. Don't blame him. It's a cool looking skin. It's a cool looking collection. Let's see if it gets accepted at some point in the near future. I should also point out there was one double armored door skin that was accepted this year. That was the Outer Planets one, made by Mr. Cavency. Could he be lucky and get 2? Let's find out. So, yeah. Now, Mr. MICRØ, I do believe if I go above here and around, did he have it different behind here last time as well? Is it that different?
The two sides of the armor and double door are different. So, they are. He's diversified the layout a little bit. I don't know how else to say. I mean, they are different constellations. I don't know. Maybe he connected the same dots with different lines. But
we can't compare, can we? Because he removed the old one. But we did record it. We do have the old one on a previous video, a previous showcase. So if you can, I can't even remember. It has to have been about a month ago. We had it right in front of us. It looked cool then, and this one looks cool as well. I like the Christmas lights. Mr. MICRØ. Yeah. So, you had a point that you wanted to make?
No, I just went back because, Hedge and I keep sort of a collective little database here of all the stuff that we talk about. and I was just looking back through the weeks to when we had the Constellations Armored Double Door, which we covered on November 5th, and it did indeed have a different Steam ID, and Steam, the link to that workshop item is no longer accessible, so it was
Yeah.
taken down, and this is a different workshop listing ID.
So, let's see if this proves to be lucky for you, Mr. Kvency. Right, it's not Kvency Meta, it's Kvency, Kvensy. Kvency. Right. Let's move over to the, let's remember the name, Loot Barricade Garage Door, made by a Mr. Duck, creator of the Neon Storage Collection. So, I recall a good 4 or 5 weeks ago, he had the, what was it called? He had a special armor door made, didn't he? That made it, it was the workshop.
The Loot Lord, or you mean? Or
It was basically workbench armor door. That's it. It was made to look like it was made out of a stripped down workbench. And basically, I see he's kind of sticking with a sort of similar pattern, where basically he's taking a lot of assets from the game, and he's building up an idea of like, all right, so if we could just stack up all of these crates against the wall, people won't be able to get in and whatnot. I like the idea of it. There's a bit of creativity behind it. But what's the yellow one? I've completely drawn a blank. My brain's just suddenly gone flat. I can't remember what the yellow one.
There's a MICRØ like toolbox thing. I'm not sure if it's MICRØ is the brand, but they have it's like a job box, like a toolbox you'd have on a job site, and it's part of the in-game deployables, but it's not usually interactable by the player. You just find them at like the new underwater labs and around. They maybe are at the mining core. I forget where else you can see them in game, but they are sort of taken from a prop in the game.
But it's a fun idea. I think he did a very good job, you know, in terms of thinking up. All right, every week these skin creators have to think of something new. If I press R, oh, I was super zoomed in. I was thinking that these creators have to think of something new to create every single week. And an idea like this, I don't think we've seen anything like this before. Fun idea. Let's see if it gets accepted. Now, does it glow? Let's get a good look at that. And, come on, Notch. There we go. So it doesn't glow. Mr. MICRØ, could you please turn off the lights?
Sure.
So just to give you a nice quick example, ta-da, it does not glow. Could you turn lights back on, Mr. MICRØ?
Yeah, let me give it a little twirl with my headlamp here.
Because what I want to show off is he did actually do a very good job, like, so with the wood part, see that? With the light, he's made it look as if it was actual wood texture. And then we'll look at the metal, and yeah, awesome. Then you look over here, and you see how this stands out in the reflection to the light. He's done a very good job of that. I have to give him extra points for the texturing and the reflection. Yep. Oh, that's good work.
He really did a great job with all his materials and all the, you know, he didn't just take assets from the game. He actually modeled each and every one of these to resemble the assets from the game. And if you notice off to the left side, I've placed an armored door that he had accepted a ways back. And this makes, you know, this is, I think, his first entry in the series using these assets. So he's sort of reusing those a little bit, but at the same time making them fit a garage door quite nicely.
Loot Lord. That came out this year, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've had far too many single armored doors this year.
It was back in February. And yeah.
I think everyone's had an armored door accepted this year. the armored door is glowing.
That's
well, I'm sorry, Michael. Should have made one. So yeah, that glows, but yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a collection, but a similar theme. So, good job there, Mr. Duck. I think you've done a very good job of that. Mr. MICRØ, shall we talk about the other garage door? Get it! Stop hiding in the walls, MICRØ. That's
I was
very
trying to get
inappropriate.
a high up angle with the light because on the Loot Lord armored door, the drawers of that tool chest at the top, they really do like sort of pick up the light and give it a strong.
I think you're just
Like
making an
illusion.
excuse to hide in my walls. Right. So, do you remember the room storage collection? No, not room storage. Immediately screwed it up. Well, so basically, the most recent skin from the room door collection, that was the storage double door. So we had that accepted, and we did see the locker room put out, but it wasn't accepted. So now Mr. Sill is trying to make, and yep, let me read this correctly, a car area garage door. I think Face Punch will probably change that. That's a strange use of words, but we get the idea. This is for your vehicles, a garage door, perfect. So he's had single doors being accepted, he's had double doors being accepted. Now we're moving on to garage doors, and very fitting, he has one for the cars. I think he should have done one for both. Like, it should have been for both, because I get the feeling he's going to have one for your garage doors, your car garage, but then you're going to have one for your minicopter. I think he should have just done one for the both of them. You're going to run out of colours. But yeah, this is the car area garage door made by Mr. Sill, part of the, what do you call it? What do we call it? I literally just said it, the room door collection. So yeah, it is... It is glow in the dark. Sorry, my brain just went blank because I've been trying to figure out how to say that properly and then remember the name of the collection and whatnot. But yes, Mr. Sill is trying to make an appropriate door for every door need in the game. And as you know, one of the garage door benefits compared to the likes of double doors is that vehicles can squeeze through them. Your minicopters and your cars, your vehicles. That is a super helpful thing to have. And, well, now we've got the perfect themed garage door for it. So, if you like what you see, especially with all of these workshop skins, if you like what you see... Oh, now it's gone. Do you want me to get a good look at this underneath? Do we see any glow-in-the-dark parts for the garage doors? So, not on that one, and not on this one. So, yeah, sorry to mistakenly point out, but that is a continuation of the... loot collection, am I correct, Mr. MICRØ? Duck's one is part of a loot collection, I should have said.
You know, I honestly don't know if he intends it to be part of the collection. It has a different name. This is called Loot Barricade Garage Door.
And then we have this over here. So we assume, but yeah. Just wanted to point that out.
I only put this up for reference. This is a long accepted skin now, and there's no reason. I'm actually going to get rid of this just so there's no...
Could you bring down the garage door once more, Mr. MICRØ? Yeah, sorry. Goodbye, Mr. MICRØ. So, yeah, that is the car area garage door. If you like what you see with all of these workshop skins, please consider going to the workshop and voting for them. Show your support. It helps out the skin creators, and of course... Hopefully, maybe, Face Punch will see that, and if lots of you want a specific skin, well, you can help out, show off your support, and then it might potentially get accepted in a Rust or rotation near you. So, best of luck to you, Mr. Sill. Let's now move on to the return of the Smouldering collection. So, earlier this year we had the likes of a large box, we had the likes of a wooden door, and we had the likes of a small Smouldering box. Smouldering collection kicked off earlier this year, but we haven't seen any for quite some time. We saw the likes of a garage door, the double doors, but they weren't accepted. It's been some time, but now Mr. Let's quickly make sure I say the name correctly. Wagan, WWAGGAN, Mr. Wagan. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. But yes, he has returned with his glow-in-the-dark Smouldering collection. You can immediately see the embers sticking out as it gets darker and darker and darker, and soon the fire will burn and consume all of you. So this is a sheet metal door. You can probably figure it out with all the sheet metal sticking around it. Looking very nice. Oh, looks like it's all hammered in and everything. You did a good job there, Mr. Woolwagon. So yes, it's going to get very cold soon. Would you like a nice, toasty, warm, burning door for your base? Well, get a look at this. We have the Smouldering door, the perfect door for your cold, your cold base at night. So yeah, that could potentially be appearing soon, maybe. If you like what you see, please consider voting for it. So yeah, is that something you might want to have in your base? you might want to have the fire extinguisher very close nearby, just in case. And we shall talk about the last deployable of this week. That being, or not this week, from what we saw that was submitted this week, that's a part of a continuation of a collection. And what is this? It glows green. It looks kind of spooky. Why, it's the return of the Toxic Dragon collection. So what we have here is a large box. Yes. So let's get a good slow move around this. What we are seeing here is a very nice, very cool looking large box. Now, gentlemen, if you recall, it seems like the Toxic Dragon collection is like a counterpart to the Dragonhorn collection that we saw last year, except it's all carved out in like, what would you call this? Obsidian? Stone? Something? What would you call?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that supposed to be like volcanic?
Probably, but it's got all this green energy coming out, emanating that of a dragon, I guess. You'd have to tell us, Mr. Jessen, explaining in your descriptions in the future what it is with your Toxic Dragon collection. But I will say, I've been a fan of this. I think it looks really cool. I was surprised to see the likes of your double door and your furnace not getting accepted. Maybe there'll be a version 2 down the line. But how many large boxes have we had fairly recently? We've actually had quite a lot. But could we see a continuation of the Toxic Dragon collection appearing potentially next week? Or potentially just sometime after Christmas time? It's a cool looking box. It glows in the dark. Fun looking design, and if you're a fan of the Dragonhorn collection, I'm sure you'd be very welcoming for that to be appearing next week as well. So, what did you just do? Did you just lock away? No!
My stuff.
No!
Hands
No!
off my stuff.
I was going to put... Aww.
Actually, I did put something in there for you. Here, you can open that up.
Oh, great. I wonder what's going to be in here. Were you supposed to put a note on that? Because there's nothing there.
Or you have to put it in your inventory.
Nice. Mr. MICRØ, would you like to start showing off the workshop skin continuations, the weapons? Shall we proceed in talking about them? So let's just get these in order real quickly. Mr. MICRØ, if you could strike a pose holding the fish knife. So yes, I think I've got this all in order. Yep. Okay, yep. So, starting off with the weapons for the workshop submissions, we have a continuation of the fish collection. So if you recall, not too long ago, we were playing with knives and it was fun. And yes, knives are the only weapon that you can use whilst running. Step. Alright, so, look at him. He's a little fishy. Now, does he glow? Let's just quickly find out. Fish collection, popular, beloved, but hasn't seen the skin being accepted for quite some time. I'm not sure if Mr. Shedmon will be lucky this week, but can you remember the last bone knife skin to be accepted? February? Rebar knife. That's been quite some time, hasn't it? Now, we saw some very cool things appearing earlier this year with the likes of a pencil, bone knife, a steak during Halloween. There was another one I can't seem to remember. That's annoying me now, and that's going to bug me for the rest of this day. But yeah, cool looking idea. It's a sharp fish. Do you want to run around with a little fishy friend? Well,
I do. I think this is hilarious, and as perfect as the fish set is for the primitive phase of the game, I mean, bone knife just fits right in with that, and like I'm dying for this to get accepted. I can't wait. I'm not usually that biased, but like I think this one is so funny.
One little fishy in a little dishy, da 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 da. You don't know the song I'm talking about, and now you're thinking I'm weird.
Every one of these skins has made me laugh. It's just I can't get enough.
Could you throw it on the floor? Don't drop it. Just
I'll put it down gently.
Gently, yes. So he's a tiny little fish, and he's extra pointy. Gentlemen, remember what I said with these workshop submission skins? If you like what you see, please consider voting for them. please show your support. So if I could just get ever so closer, you can see all the lovely details on the eyeball, and then the scales, and the reflection of the light. Exquisite piece of work. It's a fish! It's a fish! What do you want? What else do you want? Gentlemen, it's a fish, and you stab people with it. Do I need to sell this to you any better? So, yeah, fish collection. Fish collection bone knife. Congratulations to you, Mr. Shedmon, so far with your fish collection. Let's see if it continues. If it doesn't, then, I don't know. Fish purifier? Fish water purifier, Mr. MICRØ?
You never know. You never know.
Fish target. That's a good one. If you could put that fish face on a target. But, yeah, that's another good one. We're giving you the ideas, Mr. Shedmon. Please consider giving us some money when you get them accepted. I'm joking. Right, so, Mr. MICRØ, let's now move over. Come back here.
Fishy, put them in my pocket.
Throw them in the frozen lake. Uproar AK. Yes, it's been 2 years since the last Uproar skin, and surprise, surprise, Uproar returns. So, this took me by surprise during the Tuesday workshop skin checks. I have not seen one of these skins in about 2 years, and lo and behold, we got the AK. So, Mr. FaZe returns to his cool-looking Uproar collection. Now, if I recall, there's actually a core piece missing. I can't remember. There's like, I think we got tier 3 armor and clothing, but we never got like the tier 2. Mr. FaZe, if you're going to come back randomly to your collection, may I consider looking to potentially finishing off all the core pieces of your armor? That would work out very nicely, and a lot of people jump straight in and start using Uproar again if you complete the whole core pieces, that being the tier 3 hoodie and pants and tier 2. But what we got here is a cool looking AK. It's got a big blotch of paint all over it. This is the best way I can say it is more old school in terms of design, because remember when skins were more, they were made to be more like DIY type of skins, you know what I mean, Mr. MICRØ?
Yeah,
and reload. It's literally just paintwork splattered all over a regular AK. Let's go take a look at you, Mr. MICRØ, holding it. Mr. MICRØ, do you like what you hold in your hands? Don't get so messy, Mr. MICRØ. You could have done a better job with the painting.
You know, when the Uproar first came out, the hoodie and pants set, I think people didn't understand the white splatter on it. But I mean, it's obviously meant to be paint, and when you see it on the gun, I feel like it makes a lot more sense. Like the skull looks like it's painted on there, and it's just it was done. You know how it got splattered all over the place. I don't know. Someone with a messy paintbrush, but yeah, I think the color scheme works with the rest of the set, and I think it's a good-looking skin. This, I actually didn't take notice if this has custom normals or not, but it's a pretty flat skin. Yes, it does have normals done, so pretty cool.
Stands out very nicely in the light when we make it dark elsewhere. That's looking very nice. Yes. Good piece of work there. Straightforward. Looking cool. Like the theme of it. And Mr. MICRØ, if you could walk into the darkness and never return. No, come back, Mr. MICRØ. Don't run. Don't make me replace you with a snowman. Snowman MICRØ doesn't say good jokes. Great, where are you? MICRØ, please, come back. Don't... Where's he gone? No. Ah! He actually disappeared. Right, so, yeah. Cool looking AK. Let's get it up real close. Do a little Whoa, he hit me. I'm spinning. So, yeah. Cool stuff. Let's see where this goes. Will it be accepted? Well, we've had 3 AKs accepted in the past 3 weeks. Let's see if Face Punch accepts 4. Oh dear. But yeah, nice to see an old skin collection randomly returning. I like that. I find it cool.
And he did not submit a alternate version that has a stock on it. It's like the stockless version is it. That's what he submitted.
That's what he wants. That's what he likes. So cool stuff. Cool stuff. Mr. MICRØ, shall we proceed in talking about the next skin? That being the Predatory AK, which I accidentally rolled over on, so let's just quickly turn it to daytime. Yep. Quite surprised to see this wasn't accepted for the AK Skin of the Week. Mr. Verona has been fairly successful recently with his Predatory collection. Been successful, getting 2 skins accepted in a row, but this week it comes to an end. So, this wasn't accepted this week. How unfortunate. Cool looking design, but I don't think everybody likes it. But, you know, different strokes, different blokes. Nice, helpful red-yellow aim sight stands out in most environments. Nice piece of work here. Now let's go over to MICRØ. Wait, first of all, did I do it at night time? Yep, reflects light nicely, but does not glow. Does not glow. Yep. And now we'll go look at Mr. MICRØ. Mr. MICRØ, how are you doing? So yeah, we've seen this pattern many times now. I still think it looks like a man with a very small face, with the little circle bit being his nose and the 2 lips. I'm talking about the black parts and the red. Like, but no, it's in the shape of like a bear or a lion. I think it's a bear. But. Yep, it might not be for everybody. I see Mr. MICRØ doesn't seem to like it. But yeah.
Why do you say that? Wait, do I...
No, Meta. Sorry. I saw M. I quickly jumped.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Meta doesn't like anything. Get used to it.
That's true.
He never likes anything. He's like... He's our Statler and Waldorf. He just sits there and complains about everything all the time. So yeah. So yeah. Let's see if that potentially appears at some point in the near future. And yeah, there's not much else to talk about. We've seen this design so many times. It's a cool looking AK. It's a helpful aim sight and whatnot. But I'm just not super keen on AK-47 skins, MICRØ. We need to stop. Do you... I'm sorry to bring this up on you, but I've been considering this more and more. I'd like to see AK skins become like a rarer sight to see. We would only probably see them only once a month, maybe only once every 2 months. Because they are the most beloved in-demand skin. Of course, that is true. But when you have so many of them being accepted every other week, they become less special. It's unfortunate to say that, but that is true. So, what I would say is...
You know, AK can be hard to get for some people. So, they're not just selling you... skin, they're selling you the dream.
Well, let's roll that over with a better thing. Like, I feel like they should be treated more special. They shouldn't be a thing that gets accepted every week, but they should be like a rare, valuable thing to see. And if you're a skin creator that gets yours accepted, it should be like an honour. It should be a great honour that you're the one that was picked to have your AK accepted for the month and whatnot. Yeah, that would be one thing I would like to bring up, or if I ever got the opportunity to talk about the way we approach getting skins accepted, for example, and whatnot. But yeah, you know, I don't work for Facebook because yeah, I mean, at the moment, I wouldn't like to see another AK skin for the while. I fully expect to see one for Christmas. Of course, we're going to see one for Christmas. You just know we're going to see one for Christmas, Mr. MICRØ.
I think we all will always see them for, you know, big events, thematic, like holidays and stuff like that. And I think over time we will always see that'll be like a constant staple throughout the workshop and throughout the weekly store rotations. But we can see some like more macro patterns where for a while, for example, single armored doors were just not a thing. And then for the past year, we've just been seeing armored door after armored door, and it's been like a marked change in pattern. And maybe we'll see a period where, like right now, we've just been on a track where we see lots of AKs, but maybe your wish will come true. Maybe we'll see a period of time where the focus is on other types of items and AKs become a more special treat, a more rare occasion. I'm speculating. I'm not even basing that on anything other than the fact that we can observe there are variations in the macro scale or macro behavior of some of those skin choices. And something you said earlier, you know, about that when we were talking about the LR for this week, we saw this change now with they incorporated the burst module into the LR. Maybe there's some mentality going on where they've sort of planned things out in terms of when that there's those changes are on the roadmap before we find out about them. This is, again, wild speculation on my part, but maybe they have a picture in their minds for a roadmap where these changes happen, and they don't necessarily tell that to us until they're beginning to work on the implementation, which then we can draw a conclusion it's coming soon, and then the big announcement happens that it's in game. But all the while, with that vision of incorporating these changes, maybe they're doing subtle patterns to what they accept. We saw there was more saps when, there was the frequency of getting a sap accepted kind of went up during the changes with the recoil and whatnot, and they were rebalancing some guns in the meta, and with that changes skin demand that follows on. So, there's these follow-on effects from changes that are made to the game, and if all of the sudden they start favoring a type of weapon or type of item that's been recently buffed and whatnot, maybe they don't want to have those so directly linked to the patterns, or have such a closely linked follow-on effect. Maybe they've sort of padded the anticipation of the arrival of the armored door by putting a bunch of them out, so that we don't have a rush of them now that there's a change happening. Let me summarize. Let me wrap that up by saying, again, that's wild speculation on my part, and I'm just brainstorming. But it's interesting thought experiment there when you consider these pattern changes and changes to the game, and maybe they're going to change the AK more, and we'll see it used more or less. There's no way of knowing. I don't anticipate that happening, but
because there is a big difference between overpowered and overused. One might sit there and say, the AK is far too powerful, but maybe it's a case of you see it too much because it gets used the most because it's the go-to weapon. So, if you so we did see changes to the LR300, as you said, as I said. They do want to see the LR300 get used more, but Mr. Meta just said LR needs a damage buff, and they probably have to nerf the AK. So no, Crypto said it. They'd have to nerf the AK if they want other people to use other weapons and whatnot.
That's right. Yeah, I would agree with that. But I mean, when this recoil change happened back in June, a lot of people did consider that to be a big nerf on the AK. Those were players who have spent hundreds of hours on UKN perfecting their AK spray, like getting that like permanently embedded in their muscle memory. And now that it's down to a bit of aim cone and there's just more RNG involved, not everyone finds the AK quite as desirable. So that definitely did impact players' perception of the gun itself. Now, I don't have the psychological insight into how that impacted people's desire for skins for the AK. I think people are always going to want skins for AKs, but it is the only time will tell. But I think we should,
so good.
I think it would be nice, just like you said, to have a bit of a cool off, just like we saw with large boxes. We took a little break from that.
Yes.
We saw some other things flourish. Let's take a little cool off on AKs. That would be nice. A little reprieve, or
a bit of a break.
A bit of a vacation, yeah.
So, if we're going to take a bit of a break on the AKs, how about we talk about the Cybercode Thompson? So, I literally said it earlier. Aeros has 2 collections kind of in the pipeline at the moment in being accepted. And, well, it's either going to be Cybercode one week or El Diablo the other week. This week, El Diablo. Perhaps next week, Cybercode Thompson. Shooty, bang, bang, bang. Let's get a good look at this. So, of course, we have the skull on the back. Look on the sides. See the matrix. Yes. Cool gun. Thompson skins. Very reliable investments. Held up its position in wanting to be used after the recoil update. If you recall, before the recoil update, before June, MP5 and Thompsons were being used a lot. After the recoil update, Thompson's still beloved and used quite a lot. MP5s. So yeah, simple changes leads to
MP5
problems.
used to be like AK Junior, and
Yeah.
now it doesn't feel the same the way people used to use it. If you try to use it like the way it used to be used, you are gonna probably have a bad day. So you have to find a new way of using the MP5. It can still be very effective, but it's just not the same gun anymore.
Yeah. So, in the night, I see the Thompson. Looks nice. I like it a lot. Do 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 do. Alright. Cool looking Thompson skin. It's been a while since the last one. Let's see what happens potentially next week. As I said, next week is the last regular skin workshop. Rotation. Sorry, I got that wrong. Well, technically, it would be workshop. I'm sure there's likely going to be another submission period for Christmas skins, much like what we saw for the Halloween skins, where there's going to be like a page where we see all the Christmas skins being submitted, right?
You know, at this point, nothing has been announced for like a contest or whatnot. I think a lot of the skin makers are there's been some talk. I think, you know, without being too specific, you know, TGG did make somewhat of a give us some insight. At this point, I think we're expecting there to be 2 weeks. We don't know anything yet if there's going to be a contest or like you know, oftentimes for the holidays there's like a hashtag like Rustmas 2022 or something like that. But like I said, at this point, there's been no formal announcement, and I think people are definitely sort of on the edge of their seats trying to figure out, you know, what to submit for next week, even not knowing exactly what the workshop or the store rotation is going to look like. But this year, the 15th and the 22nd of December are anticipated to be Christmas stores. I think we don't. Honestly, I really don't know if it's going to be the 22nd and 29th, but we're hoping to have a little bit of clarity
Well,
on that
with
soon.
the recent blog, we know that they're releasing the Xmas update on December 15th, and you know, we've seen 2 weeks of Christmas Rust rotations in the past few years. Fully expecting Christmas skins to be the things to be released from December 15th and to December 22nd. So, you know, we would expect that, or we would
And that is,
assume that.
you're right. I didn't actually mention that, but you're 100% right. There is supposed to be a content update on the 15th to enable the Christmas event, and that's word that's through the grapevine. I don't have a direct source for that, you know, as far as a Phase Punch news release or anything. At least I can't link that through, you know, my thoughts right now. But
Oh
I've
no, no,
heard
it's in
people
the blog
talking about
post.
that.
If you look at
Is
the
it?
quality, yeah, the quality of life update blog
Okay.
post at the
Okay.
very bottom. Hello, people. On December 15th at 7 o'clock UK time, we're going to release the Christmas update. It's simple
Okay.
as that. Yep. So I would assume, yes, that we will be seeing the 2 Rustle rotations over the course of the next couple weeks. As of not next week, but the week after. Yep. So yeah. Yep.
Okay. That's you know, I mean, with the content update, it sounds reasonable that they'd bring skins in for the Christmas, you know, with the Christmas theme, but I guess it's hard to say for sure. I think that's a pretty reasonable conclusion.
So, Mr. MICRØ, I'm now going to show off the prototype 16A Python. I will raise up my hands and say we made a bit of a mistake last week. We were supposed to have shown this off last week. I think this appeared a bit later. I can't fully remember, but this is made by Anubis Dunk. If you recall, not too long ago, we saw the Prototype 16 SAP skin released the same week we saw the inclusion of the new Prototype 17. And, well, that got accepted, did very nicely. Well, what do I have here? It's turned into a collection. We've got a very nice bright green aim sight, you know, in reflection to the it's a reference to the glow in the dark aim sights of the Prototype 17. Haha, very funny. And bang, 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 shooty, shooty, reloady, reloady. So
Yeah, and you're right. We should have, if with our normal flow of how we do these Saturday shows, we should technically have shown this last week, but
yes, Quite
Sorry about that.
conveniently, Anubis Dunk doesn't have a skin from a already existing collection this week, so yep, it felt reasonable to show this off. And yep, Mr. MICRØ, let's get a good look at you. Yes, so not surprised this wasn't accepted this week, considering what we got accepted this week. But yep, there it is. Looking cool. Not black. It's not black, is it? I'm looking at it, and it's not black like the
Crypto
prototype.
says gray out Python. That's
Grey
that's
out
a play
Python,
on,
yeah.
play on words there, but hey, it's not wrong.
Hey, it's a prototype. They're figuring themselves out. There might have been a previous draft where it was bright orange. You never know. So yeah, let's get a good look at that. During the night time, where we can see the light reflecting off the... Ooh. Yeah, a little bit more to your right, Mr. MICRØ. There we are. Stop. Oh, gotta whack my camera. So, yeah. See all the rivets along there. Looking nice. Best of luck to you, Mr. Anubis Dunk. Maybe not this week, but potentially next week. So, yes, cool stuff.
Put it on my hip. You can see it on my right side there.
Yeah. And no glow-in-the-dark aim sight. It's not like the Prototype 17. So, MICRØ, how about you get some nice, comfortable poncho and bandana on your face? So, literally last week, we saw the likes of the Toxic Wolf sleeping bag being accepted, and Mr. Zinc thought, you know what? How about I dabble into clothing again? Mr. MICRØ, strike a pose. Lovely. What do we have right here? We have the exquisite looking radioactive yellow. Is that saliva? I think it's saliva. MICRØ, do contain yourself. Wipe your mouth.
It is definitely a secretion of some sort.
So, this is a new clothing batch of skins from the Toxic Wolf collection. We do know that Mr. Zinc, he attempted to make some tier 3 armor before. It wasn't accepted. How very unfortunate. But hey, if ponchos are selling very well at the moment, why not? Why not give it a shot? It's quite weird how we had poncho skin after poncho skin after for like a few weeks, and now we're hardly seeing them anymore. But I don't blame the skin creators for wanting to make a poncho skin, because they did so a lot, didn't they? A lot of people going crazy for them, and I don't blame Face Punch for keeping accepting them. But it is weird how we just don't have any clothing skins for these past few weeks. It's kind of driving me nuts, Mr. MICRØ. So yeah, I'm lost. I don't know what's going on. I'd like to see clothing. I'd like to see a whole batch of clothing accepted potentially for next week, but it's just not happening. I don't have a clue what's going on. It's awkward. Does it glow? No, it doesn't. Walk back in. The light reflects off it very nicely, as you can see. Yes, he's going to prowl in the night and stalk you. And he's going to spin around and show me his bum. I think that makes him submissive. You're a very submissive wolf. I am so sorry for even considering that. Anyway, so, why did I say that? Ooh. Anyway, moving along. Shall we segue over to a different bandana and a pair of boots, Mr. MICRØ? How about we take a look at a continuation of a collection that we've been waiting for quite some time? Do you see it super easily? How about I make it during the day? What do I see before my eyes? What is this style? What is this gimmick? Gentlemen, it is the return of Diva Dan's Pixel Collection. Dun dun dun. So, if you recall, back in Complete the Sets week, we saw the inclusion of the Pixel hoodie and pants. And ever since then, we didn't see anything. It's been 2 months. What's going on, Diva Dan? Well, I happen to know Diva Dan is also involved with Team Fortress 2. And round that time, he was busy making Halloween's cosmetics and unusual effects. Congratulations to you, Mr. Diva Dan. You got an unusual effect accepted. I'm sure you were very happy with that. So Mr. Diva Dan was busy with that. He's been busy doing Christmas tier 2 things. But with that about to end up coming out soon, it probably felt like it was a good time to hop in back to Rust to make some pixel skins. So, look, I like this. Look at this, chat. Look how he made great use of the creases. See how this crease kind of folds in? He made a little river to go down it. That is awesome. I didn't even notice that. That's cool. I like that. So, obviously, it wasn't accepted this week. No clothing skins were accepted this week. But, hey, if you're thinking that this is the end of Pixel Collection, I actually think this is potentially a teaser for more to come. Oh, we waited a long time for you to return, Mr. Divadan. I knew a lot of people were going to give up with the hoodie and the pants, because I knew you were busy. I knew how this was going to play out. People got impatient and they started to throw it onto the Steam market. But I did see some people making some speculative purchases earlier this week. Someone bought out a whole bunch of the hoodies. Because this very likely does seem like a teaser that we might see some armor coming soon. Maybe. There's no guarantees. You'd probably have to look at his workshop page and look at the questions. The the Q&A section. What's it called? What do we call it? The comment section. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
Comment thread, yeah.
Yeah, so if you were to politely ask him, he'd probably give you an answer. You know, show your support. If you like what you see, comment. Say, hey, this looks cool. When's the armor? But, yeah. Remember, if you like what you see, please consider... Oh, that water looks really nice in the light. It reflects ever so nicely. Oh, he did such a good job of this. I like that. I know it's a gimmick. It's literally Minecraft. But come on, that was a clever idea. I appreciate clever ideas. Still unsure about the lava, though. Yeah, it keeps your feet warm, so perfect for December. So, Mr. MICRØ, looking cool with the style. How about we move on to the final two pieces, the final two skins. He's going to go into the darkness, he's going to put it on, and he's going to reappear with a strange but interesting new skin collection to look forward to. Not new necessarily, but with clothing and armour. Mr. MICRØ, show yourself. Da 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 da! Elite Crate. Do you remember how we randomly had the Elite Crate AK-47 being accepted 2 years after it was submitted? And how Mr. Odyssey came back and thought, you know what, if this randomly gets accepted, why don't I make an MP5 as well? And he made a couple other skins. Well, now, he's decided, well, why don't I make a Tier 3 armour? And gentlemen, if you recall, earlier this year, we were having a bit of discussion talking about green clothing and armour skins, because FacePunch doesn't seem to like them that much. They seem to be really against the idea of potentially releasing or accepting green clothing and armour. Now, we had quite a lot of interesting potential ideas earlier this year in regards to submissions. We had a whole batch of them. We had a whole batch of camouflage ones. What was it? Oh, it was the what was the duck one? Do you remember? It was just called camouflage, wasn't it?
The ghillie suit, yeah.
And the ghillie suit, and then we had Mishka making one, the one from his camouflage rug collection and whatnot. So this isn't trying to be camouflage; it's sticking with its actual color scheme. So maybe this is the one that gets accepted. So simple, not trying to be something gimmicky. It's literally sticking to its own theme that it set out. And I think that's got a pretty good chance of being accepted. I look forward to it. Yes, I do. And
you have to wonder if they're worried that something might be perceived as pay to win, you know, and it's just going to cause sort of a imbalance or something like that. I mean, obviously the blackout and the whiteout and the there's quite a few skins that have good tactical value, but it's hard to believe that this would not be, considered just like the Forest Raider set, where it's a green colored skin, it blends in. But I don't know. Was there outrage from the community that those were pay to win? Have we seen them actually used in a pay to win way? The Forest Raider stuff is pretty valuable on the Steam market. It's been trending upwards for
that was one of the reasons why I said we should probably see some more green skins being accepted, because with Forest Raiders not having any competitors, I guess you could say, it's just going to keep getting more and more expensive, isn't it? It is
Yeah,
the go-to green clothing and armor skin collection. So
sure is. Yep.
you tell me. Yeah, it's as simple as that, isn't it? So what do we have right there? It's green armor. Looks cool. Looks nice. So yeah, that could potentially be the one. So yeah, that is all of the skins this week, Mr. MICRØ. Both Rust or Rotation, and of course, yeah, got you with the fish. So that's my revenge from you shooting a bloody arrow at me earlier. You probably forgot, but I didn't. I'm a very, very spiteful, vengeful person, Mr. MICRØ. Anyway, so as I said many times throughout this showcase, next week is the last. It is the expected last regular Rust or Rotation before we start seeing all of the Christmas-related skins. Christmas update will be coming out on December 15th, and Mr. MICRØ, what are you doing with that? So yeah. I don't think there's really much else to sit here and say. I hope all of you invested into those Christmas skins during October and November, like I suggested. I'm doing very good selling all of those at the moment. I'll be talking about that again. Not too. What are you up to? What are you trying to shoot? Anyway.
Just looking.
So yeah, let's see what comes out potentially next week. Could we see Tiki Collection potentially get some more skins being made? What will MDE consider making transparent on the same sites next? What could we potentially see in regards to we got the I've already forgotten the name. Calmtime. What might Mr. Frog make out of this next week? There's plenty of things to look forward to. Workshop skin checks every Tuesday. I like to upload that. We've seen many skins that got accepted. We saw 4 skins this week. Before it obviously got accepted and whatnot. So if you want to get that extra early look at what potentially might get accepted, please keep an eye on my YouTube. And I'll you're on YouTube now anyway, so it's all good. Ah!